Sorry. Let's see. We're doing it live. Okay. All right. I think sorry. Let's make it feel more like the real thing. Oh, crunch time. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Gosh darn it. Anyway, yeah, my dad's like, your stream's not working. Correct. Hi. Now it's 9 o'clock. 20 minutes late's pretty bad. So let me tell you. I've already eaten I had cereal. I had to eat my cereal because it was getting soggy. Let me tell you what happened. I did the same thing I do every single morning, every single breakfast stream. Get everything set up, and then I hit start stream for the countdown, and then I go downstairs, and I,
Hi, sweetie.
Finish
you can
getting
sit
ready.
in his lap now. I know you've been.
He was frantic
about that all morning.
Anyway, I did all that. Came upstairs. Tweeted out. Did everything normal because, like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, everything's fine.
Or me, okay.
And then finally, when it's time to switch scenes and, like, because the countdown has rolled down to 0, I look and I realize that the little tiny button in OBS that you click start streaming still says connecting. Bless you. Twice. And I was like, why does it say connecting?
Coffee!
So long story short, Chaz was giving me all sorts of like things to try. It just came down to restart your router.
Do you remember earlier when I was like, man, I've been having internet problems this morning. You should restart the router. And you were like, no.
First off, no, I don't. I don't think you said that to me. I think that's rude, first off. But I don't think that you actually said that. And I don't remember anything like that. We haven't restarted the router here in a year. A year.
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe that she said that. I was here.
It was downstairs when I said that.
Oh. This is a duet.
I know.
Okay.
I have your information.
I am Dan.
I logged into your account.
I'm a fan
So then I messaged Alex.
of Taco Bell.
I am Dan.
Either the lot you'll be burning hell. Oh, hi-de-di-de-di-de-di. The burning comes out of a hole.
Hi, darling kitty. Distract me. Yes. Who's a good boy?
Sorry, I'm not here. I'm not presently. We haven't started. I'm mad because we haven't started late. Aside from, whenever we're with like
People who need breakfast stream to start later.
people who can't get up at 9.
Or if we're super far west, like Arizona.
Yeah. Other than that, like, we always start the show on time, so I'm really mad that like it was all, oh, why didn't you just like press restart on the router? Because I never have to do that. Anyway, that was from Kazayumi. I am Dan, Wikipedia link to Taco Bell. How long ago was that? How long ago was I am Dan?
A while.
That was a while ago. Just thinking
What
about
are you
it.
sniffing?
An offering to appease Peggy this morning because apparently she demands it. Thank you, Space Vixen.
Is it
I mean, I think back 11 years ago today? Oh.
Coffee.
How many years have we
Wow.
been dating in March?
13.
Yeah, 11 makes sense.
Wow. Neat. Hey, I am Dan's 11 years old today. Anyway, yeah, occasionally I think back to the previous place we lived and the frequent ingress problems that made doing anything on Twitch awful. Like, I wanted to rip my hair out all the time. So, like, if I think about that, and then I think about this, I'm like, this is better. Having one show where you're 20 minutes late because you expect things to run smoothly and they don't. Renee says, and now you have so much more hair to rip out. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Space Vixen, thank you. Hopefully Peggy will be appeased. Hopefully that's our sole issue for 2021. That would be cool. Also, y'all have started a train.
Morning train.
I appreciate it. Also, thank you for waiting to start the train
Until we got here.
Till we got here. It would have been a sad train if we arrived and it's like, the train is over. You missed the train.
I got an email this morning. Actually, it was late last night.
Congrats.
That your sandwich is on the way.
When is that?
Tomorrow.
I'm ready for this. I am ready for this sandwich. Pickletron says, bless Taco Bell for the good food, even though the one next to the college gives me food poisoning, but the one across from my work is fine. That's a really good description of Taco Bell. It's time to go to Taco Bell, but let's go to the good one, not the bad one.
I mean, we have that with restaurants. It's like, let's go to the good one.
Yeah. There was a Taco Bell.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
I was gonna say, there's a bad Dunkin' Donuts and there's good Dunkin' Donuts here.
Hallelujah's got me. There was actually, it was Taco Bell specifically. There was Taco Bell that was, it was bad. It was so bad.
In Savannah?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about. That Taco Bell, I had never in my... I had eaten there a lot because of circumstances, but I had never once, ever had a tortilla that was not hard as a rock. And I just kept thinking, like, how? How? Every single item I've ever had has been so hard. So I don't know what they were doing to the tortillas.
Did they have a food rating? What was their letter?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay.
It wasn't... It wasn't like bad.
It wasn't as bad as that one Wendy's that one time?
No,
Okay.
It wasn't as bad as that Wendy's. But like, all the tortillas were like, you know... It seemed like they had like left them out. Like they came packaged and they opened the package and
They
like,
were
we gotta let these
gotta
tortillas
get these
air out.
stale.
It was bad. That is a Peggy. Holy crap, Danny.
She's jumping.
It's like getting rid of the evil spirits. It's like, all right, evil spirits disperse. No more spirit. Oh, it's funny because we just watched that film.
We did.
We just watched Spirited Away. Mal
Sunday.
On Sunday.
That was my movie pick for the week.
Yeah, Mal got to pick. Mal chose Spirited Away. It was exceptionally good. I mean, really, really good. I can't believe Arrietty's even by the same studio.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I saw it when it came out in English.
Like, in the States. Neat.
So it had been a long while. And I remembered major plot points, but there was some minor things I forgot.
It was so good.
And I was like, oh yeah, this.
It was so good. I need to read a few more things here. So there's 5 hallelujahs from Cobalt Custard. to AJC6558, Puppy Winkles, Star Storm 222, Star Storm, Elite 4K, and Fifth in Line. Cobalt, thank you. The Mega Peggy jumps. Or Peggy just in a bounce castle. Which
Did you make yourself laugh?
I did. You
said it, and then you were like, "Oh wait, that's a hilarious image," and then laughed.
Yeah, I hadn't made the mental image yet. I said it, and then my brain was like, "Paint that picture," and I did, and it tickled me. I did. Awee! That was 4801 bits from Danny. 86. That's the full star rain. That's the 17 bounce. Makes Mallow proud.
86.
What'd I say?
You said 86.
I said 4801. Did I say Danny 86?
I think you did. See? Danny noticed.
We've always wondered what that X was. Turns out it was an 8.
I mean, if you chop off the loops.
Oh. I was chopping off the X, and I was like, you can't chop off X and get 8, but you're right. If you chop off the
loops of
the
you get X.
How do you think that way? How does your brain...
Visual.
Anyway, Danny, thank you for warding off the evil spirit. God, I'm still... So, like, I was... it's the morning. I'm awake, but I'm, like, barely awake. So then to have to immediately deal with, like, fixing things for 20 minutes, now I'm really just... I'm definitely not all here, but it'll get better. And I've also drank all my coffee and eaten my breakfast. Like, it's all... Everything's done. What a strange morning. Pickletron with the 6 gift subs to Tabercat. Hey!
Oh, Carly's here this morning.
Giggle. Well, that doesn't necessarily.
No, I saw her thank Pickletron.
Oh. Well, in that case, hi, Carly. Giggletail, Hypnoshine, Nova Blazer X, Peach Keen, and Runway Madness 55. Pickletron, thank you. Appreciate it. It looks like... Scroll up here a little bit.
Oh, come here, buddy. Oh, you're fine. I'm just moving you. Yes. Oh. Is this a Jewel song?
Oh, is that why? Yeah.
I think so.
People
Say hi to Carly.
Oh, yeah, I see Carly. There.
You say hi to Carly?
So it was a good movie pick, which it was. It was. That means, I think that means unofficially we're going to start alternating
weeks.
Mm-hmm. So this coming week will be mine. So I got to pick something. So I don't know. I'll find something. I'll find something.
Say hi to Carly?
We got a sub from Lukewarm Pizza 80. Welcome. Foxix gifted a sub to Max T 152. We also get a sub from SM Fluffy. Welcome to you. 28 months from Satsy says, not feeling too great today. Got possible bronchitis and I read too much news on Twitter. Fortunately, I also have pancakes for break lunch. So I just need some soothing stream and all will be well. I'm sorry
Hope
that
you feel better soon.
I'm sorry that you don't feel well, and I'm sorry that soothing stream came late. But hey, now we're here and we're extra soothing. You can tell by the hectic nature in my voice.
Kepler is soothing.
Kepler's soothing. Yeah, Kepler helps. Right?
He's purring.
He just wanted him. It was so bad because when I was trying to fix stuff, I was like between here and the other computer.
He really wanted to be on your lap.
So he was following me around like trying to get into my lap, and I'm like, I can't do this right now, and he just doesn't understand. It was sad, but now he's happy. Now everything is right in the world for him. 300 bits from Rara Oaks, who says, I am Dan, and let's make a hype train go beep beep. Also, question that I wanted to ask in my other thing, hints on what Mal's next painting is. Everyone will love it. Is that a It's okay. This isn't so much a hint, but just how I'm feeling right now. This is one of my favorite pieces Mal has ever done. Not to hype it up too much before it's even out.
It's almost halfway done, and you're saying that.
It's just really good. I really like it. Like, there's a few pieces over the years that Mal's worked on, and I'm like, God, I love this. And this is up there. This is definitely up there. I could tell you what it reminds me of, but
Thomas
it won't.
says, "Is it of me?"
No. I could tell you what other piece this piece reminds me of, but it would it wouldn't help people figure out what
No,
game
it
it is at
wouldn't.
all. You know what piece I would
Yes.
say? Reminds me of Pallet Town.
Route 21.
Route 21 is a piece that Mal made before. It reminds me a little bit of that, but that doesn't help people decipher the game in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
Visually, it reminds him of
just
that.
visually, it reminds me of that, and it's very pretty, and I'm excited to see what everyone thinks. 11 months from Samaroli, and it says, "Good morning, grandparents. Glad to catch the stream for the first time in a while. Glad you're here. Almost to a year." 26 months from Jolly Roger K says, "Finally, I have unlocked every letter of the alphabet." Up to this point, it was very hard to write letters and to type on the internet, but finally, you got the whole set. Now you just have to do 10 more months so you get access to the numbers. The numbers help. 300 bits from, oh. Just reading any of that. Oh, it's like 300 bits from Chaz Test. Nope. 19 months from Luca AG. Who says, "I need a snow day." I mean, you might get one. Because it's cold now.
Parts of Texas got a lot of snow. Or I heard they were getting a lot of snow. I haven't seen.
We probably won't get a snow day.
No.
We probably, won't get one. But it's, it's possible. It's happened in January. It's happened in February. These are things that are possibilities.
It was just over a couple, we hit the anniversary of the time we were supposed to get a ton of snow. Do you remember a few years ago? And then it, skipped us entirely. And
Yeah.
they called it the bubble.
Yeah.
Our weatherman was tweeting about that because it was, the anniversary of that. He's like, "That's the biggest mistake I've made, in my career, in my life." He's like, "I was as disappointed as everyone else."
We got 305 bits from Pickletron with the Dan Star Rain. And then 300 bits from Cobalt Custard with the Dan Star Rain. I think folks were pointing out that it is, I guess, the 11-year anniversary of I Am Dan. I can't believe a few things. For one, I can't believe it was that long ago. Although, also, I can. I definitely can. Feels like a long time ago. But I can't believe I've been filming stuff for that long. It was a long time ago.
He's so sleepy.
He's tired. Anyway, 300 bits from LHMS 1704. Happy birthday to the best brother ever. The Incredible Mech Mayhem turns 24 years old today. Love you, big bro. Oh, that was sweet. Happy birthday, Mech. Congrats on 24 years. Just a few more years to go. Until you're 30.
Yes.
I can do that about any age.
You have a few more years to go until you're 40.
Yeah. See? It works anywhere.
What do you turn this year?
I don't know. How old am I gonna... No, I'm gonna be 32 because
Yeah.
Alex just turned 32. Alex is a little older than me. A little bit. Happy birthday, Alex. 300 bits from Caber29 says, "Steven, I love your shirt." Thank you. I got this, this was sent in to mail. And actually, I have another, Max said just a few more years sounds incredibly ominous. Sorry. The person that sent this in had sent in another shirt years ago that was the exact same format, but it was a Zelda-themed shirt. You may have seen me wear it before. It's like Ganon and Dungeons and Ganon. Ganon, I don't know.
I don't remember
My
the
brain
exact
is not
wording.
alive enough today. But anyway, it was the same person. So then they sent in this too. It was funny because it was a few years apart, but it was the same format of shirt.
No.
It was a cool shirt.
Okay.
60 months from Tired Psychopomp 91. Obligatory 16. What a wonderful year and a third. Thank you, Tired Psychopomp. Oh, there's a demon clown. I can't tell if that was real or I hallucinated that. But I'm assuming it was real. 16 months also from Mara Oaks. It says 16 months. Also, I am Dan and good vibes for Stephen and Mal for all they had this morning. Yeah, I'm hoping that there's less issues, but now that I know that this can happen, I'll check.
Before the timer goes down.
Yeah, because like what happens is like I hit the button and I go downstairs, which is, you know, pretty consistently worked for a long time. A year, 2 years. Now that I know that sometimes it can just like explode, you know, on Thursday when I hit it, I'll watch it to make sure that it starts as opposed to not.
Just assuming it started.
Yeah.
What are you?
That. Because it's, you know, ideally it's supposed to work. You want things to work. Thomas says pro streamer strats. That's right.
Are you done?
I'm a professional streamer, and you can tell because I click a button and then I look to see what happens. We're all just flying by the seat of our pants at any given time. Our folks says just wake up the time it takes to make it earlier than you do now. So that's the thing. Like I wake up early enough to do it.
Yeah.
Like, because I obviously I start the stream. Like I start the countdown and stuff 10 minutes before, but I'm up here 20 minutes before that because I'm up here at 8:30. So at 8:30 when I had everything set up, there was no way of knowing that it wasn't going to work until 8:50.
Yeah.
But at 8:50,
I could have. You went cereal.
Yeah, well, I always do that. This is the first time it's ever not worked, so I'm hopeful that, you know, this is a one-time thing. Hey, at least it's not Ingress. God, because I don't even know what we would do. Did I tell chat about the fact that I got an email from the ISP?
No, you have not mentioned that.
I couldn't remember if I did or not. I got an email from the ISP the other day, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna make your internet faster, and we're going to charge you less, and it's going to go into effect now, and you don't have to do anything."
Is our internet a co-op, or is it just our electricity?
Just the electricity.
Okay.
And I was like, This is a wild email.
Yeah,
This is a wild email. And, you know, it was a real email. It was real.
Brandon says, oh yeah, because you guys have a not bad ISP.
Yeah, we don't have like a national ISP. We have a local ISP. And I can guarantee you that they did this because very recently the area got, what's the...
Spectrum.
Spectrum just...
Put in fiber
not long ago.
They're still working.
Well, yeah. So I have a feeling that this is our local ISP going, hey, don't even think about switching. And I'm like, I won't. And they were right. My bill dropped $25. And I was like, holy crap. So I was pretty excited about that. They dropped the bill $25 a month. And supposedly our internet now, because we were paying for 500. They said it now goes to a gig. Speed test doesn't think it does, but I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
As long as we have the same service for cheaper, it's not.
The internet is fast enough to do what we need to do, as long as the internet's working. So it's fine. Just the fact that they, you know, are like, hey, you know, would you like to save, what is it, $300 a year? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, well, now you do. And I'm like, Jesus, okay. Whatever, guys. Sure. Also, I think for most people, the choice between local ISP and Spectrum is pretty easy choice. Most people.
It's nice to have a choice.
Well, that's the big thing. Is that most places don't have a choice.
Yeah.
If you want to have internet, it's like, well, you have this one option, and then they can just do highway robbery. So the fact that we have 2 choices. Actually, we have more than 2 choices. We have Comcast here.
Do we?
Yeah. No one uses them
No.
because they're bad, but we have them.
Isn't there another one too? Or is it just a renamed one? I can think of where their headquarters is, because it used to be like a pool supply company behind. And then it was like a golf, like get golf lessons here place. It's behind where...
I'm sorry, did you say the ISP provides golf lessons?
No, it's the building. It's what the building used to be. It's behind where Toys R Us used to be. That road. I can picture it in my head. Maybe I'll go look later.
I like get golf lessons here place. You mean a golf instructor?
It was like a golf school.
Yeah.
That's the one I wanted.
We should rename all the schools in the world to Get Education Here Facility instead of school.
Times are hard. The business had to pivot hard.
Oh my god, it's my... I'm still waking up. We had 5 gift subs from Styrofoams. Styrofoams, thank you. Milk bombs to Wraithwall89, Yardy, Stardasterly, Hero Chaos Chow, and Mookswoost. That's a wild name. Mookswoost. Styrofoams, thank you. My eyeballs hurt.
My left one feels like there's something
My
in
left
it.
one is the one that hurts.
I think there's an eyelash in it. And
Oh, that's
driving
not-
me nuts.
No, I got like a pain behind my eyeball. Like,
Oh, I get that all the time.
where like your eye is sore. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Lefty besties.
Giggletail says, "Oh gosh, you really are the same person."
Your left eye, my left eye hurts. Let's get married. There's still so many alerts. It's gonna be a morning. A Good Way Game Elite gives us up to Cats Online 1. Thank you. 26 months from Wizard grad student says, man, what a streak. I'm sad to say I'm going to miss most of breakfast stream this semester. I have a 9:30 class, so I'll only be here for the first bit. It kind of sucks. This is my favorite part of the morning. It's even worse if we don't start till 9:20 because you only get to watch 10 minutes. Hopefully, we'll be starting on time from here on out, though. 9 months, triple plus to Crimson430. 14 months from Goose Swap says, It Tuesday. It's true. 300 bits from DC Racer. Says, yeah, it snowed in Louisiana Sunday night / Monday morning. We got 4 to 5 inches. It was fun to drive around in and play in, especially for my pup. Man, so that's...
I'd like to get snow.
Like, Louisiana is another one of those places that, like, you don't associate Louisiana with snow. It's just not... But it's all possible.
Yeah. Especially upstate, away from the ocean.
Like, it can snow in Florida.
Yeah.
It's not what you typically associate with snow, but can you do it? It's not impossible.
I'm sure it's rare.
It's probably rare. 17 months from Am in Iowa. 17 already. Happy to be here, albeit late. That's fine. We were also late. So it's fine. We're on the same. You weren't. You were like 2 minutes late from when we actually started. King Family 3 gives a sub to the Relude or Theralude. King Family, thank you. Vegetable Sorbet gives 3 subs to Emmy Intact, Cat Mela, and Mega Trianitar. Thank you, Sorbet. 200 bits from A Good Way Game Leet. And 300 from Phantom with the Dan Star Rain. Lots of people celebrating Dan today. Dan should be celebrated every day. Right? Every day I wake up and celebrate Dan. 300 from Colin says, thanks for all the good vibes over the pandemic. I started my internship with my university yesterday. Super excited to have this position going into the semester. Nice. I hope everything with that internship goes good. It's also just nice to start something new and fun.
Yeah.
Like career changes or internships or any little things, like they can be, what's the word? I'm trying to think of a better word than scary, but I'll just use scary. They can be a little scary, but like, it's just nice to have something. What is this? What am I look from cool out? Honorificabilitudinitabis. Honorificabilitudinitabitis. Honorificabilitudinitatibus. Latin. It's way too early for words that long. Words shouldn't have more than like 8 or 9 letters. At that point, make it 2 words. Maybe throw in a hyphen. It's honorific abilitudin, so it's like honorific.
Abila.
It's like ability, but abilitudinitatibus. Honorific abilitudinitatibus. That's it. That's the word. Honorific abilitudinitatibus. Honorific abilitudinitatibus. Gotta break these things into different parts. Lord of mercy. Again, my brain barely functioning. Brandon, Abilla, you're darn tootin'. Al, thank you. What would that mean? I don't know. Honorific. It's a good song. 300 bits from a person, dude. It's fine. 8-bit fine, Star Rain. 100 bits from King Family, thank you. 300 from Kimikawa, thank you. 15 from Pink Double X Kiss. It says, have you tried turning it off and then on again? It's literally what it came down to. I hate that. It's literally how you fix like 99% of anything with tech.
Maybe the internet was like, you need to restart your router, so we're going to limit your abilities until you do. Because they did upgrade us.
I didn't think about that. I don't think that's a thing. That's not a thing. Is that a thing? Where we won't experience the full speeds until we restart the router?
I don't know.
It is a thing?
Breakfast.
Oh, here's the... Thank you, Al. I appreciate it. Alright, well maybe we'll see...
You can do it right here.
Should you run speed test while you're streaming? Will I kill the stream? I don't know. Oh, I'm not... Hold on, I'm not on Wi-Fi. That'd probably help, right?
How fast is my data plan?
Oh, Chaz says don't do that. Oh, should I stop it? Okay, I'm stopping now. I stopped it. Are we good? We're ridiculous. I'm in the process of running, and Chaz is like, don't do... And I'm like... Who did that? I didn't... It's fine. It's fine. Everything's good. I'm just looking. Still got the green. Cool. Everything's fine. We have any drop frames? No drop frames. 30 bits from Loves to Read says, I made it to this breakfast stream because my brain was like, you missed all your classes. And I woke in such a panic, saw that it was dark and panicked more, checked my phone, and saw that it was 6:50. Well, I mean, 6:50 could still be concerned. It depends where you are, right? Because... Oh, wait, hold on, there's more. Let me scroll down. Another one from Loves to Read, but not sure whether it was AM or PM. And then I made it to the main screen and it said AM. I was just like, why? Anyway, I finally made it to breakfast stream again. I think it's funny that one of the only times I make it, it's late. Yeah, and we're very, very infrequently late. Like, and when I say infrequently, I mean it's happened like twice, and it was because, you know, John or Emil refused to wake up that early. Actually, I think Emil has gotten up. I think it's is it strictly a John thing? Might be strictly be a John. I love John. But I think I remember having to negotiate breakfast stream start time when I was there. When I was recording with TRG. Being like,
He
okay,
lives
how about
in
this?
Mountain Time. Eastern is hard.
I mean, well, yeah, that's part of it, but
Yeah.
but also part of it is like if I didn't attempt to get folks up, like the day would start at like 3 p.m. and I was like, I don't know. I'm very proud. We recorded the entirety of Four Swords in 2 days. We recorded the entirety of the Kirby thing in 1 day. Like we did all of that. I'm happy about that. Also, speaking of school stuff, I had a dream last night about school.
Yeah.
I was in a classroom. I don't remember anything else. But it's the first time in a long time I've had a school dream. Because some people talk about how they have, like... Thanks, Chaz. Some people talk about how they have, like, school dreams a lot, where they're like, oh god, I'm late for class. And I never have those. Mm-hmm. I never, ever dream about school. And I had one last night. And it was really vivid when I woke up.
And now you can't
And now
remember.
I don't remember. It might come to me.
I am, for the last week, I feel like every night I am having a stress dream about when I see other people in my dreams. It hasn't happened where people are wearing masks yet, so I'm very concerned about people not having masks on.
Yeah. I've had dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I've had dreams where no one is wearing masks and it doesn't matter because that's not the fixation. But I've also had dreams where people aren't wearing masks and I am concerned about that. Mm-hmm. So it's weird. It's been both. I wonder how long I'll feel that way. You know, like I wonder like how long after things go back to normal will my brain continue to create those stresses, and I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, 100 bits from Rara Oaks. Appreciate it. 300 from Danny X6 with the, it's like a little puppy.
It's cute.
A little hype puppy. Star Rain.
Puppy.
Hype puppy. 28 months from Crunchy Face. Appreciate it. 300 bits from Cool Al, who requests that I play Popski music from my AI. I can tell you that wouldn't work. I only got one song on my phone.
Is it still the one song?
Just one song.
Oh, no, you changed it.
I only got one song on my phone in the music section because I use Spotify. So like I only got one song, and it's the Earthbound. It's the Hoedown song.
So every time we get in the car...
Well, not anymore.
Oh yeah, fixed it.
They
For a while, it was every time we got in the car.
Yeah, when I would go to plug up my phone, CarPlay automatically would play music and not Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
But they've done a thing where they fixed that. So for a while, every time we got into the car, it played the Hoedown, and Mal loved it. She loved it so much. It was her favorite thing. She would say, I love this. This is the best.
Loved it.
I love how excited I am every time we get in the car for this to loudly play and scare the crap out of both of us. Anyway, 300 bits from Aldo says, good morning to everyone, but especially Wallace Gotham Gorok. How's that guy doing?
How is Wallace?
Oh, Wallace, he good. It occurred to me that because folks latched onto that so hard that I may have to throw in like a super
Something
quick
in the Let's Play about it. Yeah.
a super quick explanation in the Let's Play about it. And what'll be great is that
Hope you remember on Friday before we leave that area.
yeah, I will. I'll be like, oh, we'll go up to the spring, Gotham Hot Spring, Gotham Hot Spring, that was discovered by a Gorok. It's a combination of a Goron and a Korok named Wallace Gotham Goron.
This is where he went on his honeymoon.
It's where he went on his honeymoon with his wife Carol, who was a Hylian. They had a son named Wafflam. Gotham is a successful entrepreneur who started a camping distribution company that Beetle orders all of his stuff from. Wafflam, however, went into a different
Line of work.
being a rancher, and actually owns most of the stables. I remembered all this crap. That's because it was important. It was important. Anyway. 100 bits from Pink Matima. Thank you. 3 or 6 from Platinum Pikachu with the 8-bit Goose. Star Rain. Another 100 from Rara Oaks. 300 from Caulk with another Dan Star Rain. So many Dans. So many Dan. 28 months from Ambi Walsh. It says 28 months. I suppose that means I'm on my 3rd Twitch baby now. Let's name this one Kepi after the famous Kaji Dragonborn.
Kepi.
More of his adventures this Friday.
Kepi is very sleepy. He did not raise his head.
He prevented me from getting a great night's sleep, unfortunately.
Oh, he loves you.
He cuddled me very, very tightly last night. I basically spooned Kepi because he was up on the bed, and he jumped up on the bed last night before we went to sleep, and he was trying to get between my legs, and I was like, no, because the minute you do that, I have no mobility, and I get really...
You're stuck.
Like I'm stuck. So I held my legs together so he had to be on one side of me. So he's on one side of me, closer to the edge of the bed. He curled up, and he was really up close to my chest. And I was like, okay, bud, that's fine. So then we go to sleep, and I turn towards him, and he, we're cuddled, and I was like, this is fine. And then Mao spooned me, so I'm, stuck between...
It was cold.
I'm stuck between...
very warm.
I'm stuck between Mao and the cat. Some amount of time passes, I wake up, and I am sweating. I'm like, oh god, it's very, very hot. Because last night it got cold enough that I didn't leave the cold air on. I turned it on heat so it would fall to a certain point and then not go any lower. So it's between that and the heat of 2 different living things. I'm sweating. I can't pull the covers down because you're too close on one side and he's too close on another that I can't get the covers down. So I'm laying there and I'm like, this is not good. This is really not good. So I'm still super exhausted, but I'm hot enough to wake up in the middle of the night. So I'm trying to maneuver the comforter down, and he at one point I remember he stands up because I'm moving him around a little bit, and I get the comforter down just a little bit, and then he, as soon as he just curls back up super close to me. And I kind of do one of these numbers, so in your sleep you'll kind of understand that you need to move subconsciously, so you do. So then I had a little bit more room, but he was still so close.
And if you move back, he'll get up and move closer.
Yeah, so I woke up 3 or 4 times in the middle of the night because I was so hot. I woke up and I was like, oh my god, and then I would shift, but I'm still super tired, so I'm like, ugh. So, I don't know how good my quality of sleep was last night. It's fine.
The other day, Kepler was sleeping behind my knees. He was not by you, which was strange. But...
He's welcome to go over there anytime because it was too warm. God, he was warm last night. Lord have mercy. Anyway, it's fine. 11 months from Kokugan, which appropriately has the triple Kepi face. Thank you, Koku. 300 bits from Kibikawa. Good to see everyone today. Because of work stuff, it's been a week already, and it's only Tuesday. I'd appreciate good vibes. We're just 2 weeks off. Can't do the second one, unfortunately. Very, very difficult to facilitate that. But, chat can certainly send good vibes your way. So, I hope that, I hope it's just the first half of the week that's bad, and the second half of the week, turns up, turns good, turns down for what? I'm not sure what the phrase is, but it is a good week. It's still early. You could listen. I didn't sleep that great. I was surrounded by a cat. I was surrounded by a cat. One cat. Listen, I hope everyone's week turns down for what soon. What? Okay. 300 bits from Squitter says, I heard food poisoning mentioned, which reminds me I haven't been to an Arby's in 8 years because both me and my dad got sick from it. Also clown. I mean, I haven't eaten a whole lot of Arby's in my life.
I have not.
But I don't think I've ever gotten sick from an Arby's. But maybe I have, I don't know. I just haven't, it's never been a high priority. But I've definitely gotten sick from various fast food restaurants. Taco Bell is probably the biggest contributor to that. But also their food just in general, I feel like it's the right stuff to, cause some churning. Nobody wants to churn. Don't churn. Churn's bad. Don't be churning. 1500 for Pickletron says thermodynamics is all about heat and its changes, such as how an ice cube goes to a puddle from a puddle to water vapor. So basically, I experienced thermodynamics last night because I was a solid and then I started to become a liquid. Right? I think it's more dramatic.
Sure.
It's more dramatic whenever the music stops. It's like no music. Listen, I became a puddle. Pickletron, thank you. Where is the music?
Maybe the song needs
Like, there's definitely some sound there.
maybe the song needs unchecked.
Sure. Give me a new one. Here, enjoy this inspirational cinematic song.
By Jingle Punks. Funks?
Punks. P.
I
With a
can't
P.
see. And it's this big.
I mean,
that
I can
far
read
away.
it. You can't read as good with your glasses as I
Yes.
can. Is your prescription?
The same.
Oh,
These do
my
not,
eyes are worse than yours, but your glasses
These do not
suck.
have astigmatism correction.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
can't-
text.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I hope one day you get
Coffee.
good glasses. Can they do it with your astigmatism?
They can do some, but they cannot make it perfect. LASIK would help. That is scary to me.
Yeah, I trust it, but also
I trust it, but
when it's described to me, I'm like, don't describe it to me. Just tell me there's a magician. Just tell me I go in and there's a special eye magician that goes and I would be okay. I would
it's
be
not,
more.
though.
I would be more okay with
Jab
that.
the laser into my eye, yeah.
Jab the laser into my eye, yeah. Like I trust.
I know a few people who've had it done, and they
Yeah.
were like, "It sounds bad, but it's not terrible."
And
but
like
it sounds
it's
bad.
science. Like we figured this crap out, and I'm like, yeah, science. And then they're like, now this is how it works. And I'm like, don't tell me how it works, please. They're like, we just laser off, and I'm like, nope. Tell me it's a magician, a special science magician. That's what I want to know. We have 24 months. Hey, from Armored Frog. He says, 2 years of crunch. Just wanted to thank you two for all of your hours of wholesome and sometimes #family-friendly content that you've created in the time I've been watching. It's a really good thing you're doing, and I'll always watch. Aw. Thank you, Joel. It's been fun.
Yep.
It's been fun. I've enjoyed Twitch, especially. Obviously, I mean, Joel's been watching since
A very long
the
time.
very, very beginning of all of our like YouTube endeavors. But it's been fun to do Twitch because it's such a different beast. I hope we continue to do that for a long time. I'd like that.
Yeah.
We got more games to play. Yes, I will sing the lyrics to Pinball Wizard to this tune.
Then you do it. I don't know him.
I was kidding.
You can't do that to me.
You don't assume.
Eyeball wizards make your eyes green.
That's I was kidding. It was a joke.
Do that.
It
to
was
me.
it was obvious sarcasm. I was saying, yeah, I'll sing the lyrics to Pinball Wizard to this song because the tunes are so different. It would be impossible. You know what? No. I mean, actually, if I think through them, ever since I was a young boy, I played the silver ball. I don't know the 2 locations. I must have played them all. But I ain't seen nothing like him in any amusement hall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pimp. Okay. I'm not gonna read the lyrics. I'll just do this again. We'll do this again. It has a do-over. We'll try it. I'm gonna ruin this song because I can't even think straight. It's a duet. It's a duet. Remember that the line is twice as long as you think. Mulligan.
When you can't see very well.
Sometimes you might fall
You need an eyeball wizard
for your eyeball.
to make your vision better.
It'll help good.
Then you can see really good.
See the things you should. Why I said good when I said good? You took eyeball. I obviously set up the rhyme. You know what? It's fine. Yeah. I said fall to set up my rhyme to eyeball, and the mouse like eyeball wizard, and I'm like, okay. You're an eyeball wizard. You got a secret spell. Eyeball wizard, you just whisper, you don't yell. How do you change my eyeballs? I don't know. It's too early for songs. It's too early.
Making yourself laugh.
This is 5,000 from I Know How to Spell Calm. Thank you. Who's the original for Pinball? Is that the Who? Maybe? I don't know. Shout out to the Who, regardless of whether they did it first or not. Shout out to the Who. 23 months from Opie SSBM. Almost to 24 months. 300 from Adrian Coe says, Mummy, to help get rid of the bad vibes. I hope all the bad vibes are gone.
Yeah.
I would like them to stay away. 300 bits from Smash Bryman with the PogChamp Star Rain. Thank you, Bryman. 16 months from Akira Dre. Can I get some good vibes while me and my boyfriend wait for our COVID results? That we are definitely sick with something. On the plus side, I get more time with my daughter.
Good vibes.
That's a plus side. Yeah, good vibes. I've known people on like both ends of the spectrum. People that like they didn't feel sick and they got tested and they had it, and people that felt very sick and got tested and they didn't have it. So it's like a huge toss-up. But I sincerely hope that it's negative, because that gives you a lot of it alleviates a lot of your worries and fears. Mm-hmm. But no matter what, if you're feeling sick, I hope that you start feeling better.
Yeah.
Because being sick just sucks. 303 bits from Pickletron with the Luca Tomato Star Ring.
Did you say tomato?
Did I say tomato?
You did.
I meant to say taco. I said tomato. Listen, if you can read so good, then you read it. I can't. Shout out to Reese for adding a tomato emote. Tomato emote.
A box of partial tomatoes.
J Burb says Steven needs eyeball wizard. I mean, yeah. God. I'm telling you, it's something.
Apples?
We just started on a wrong foot, being 20 minutes late. Because for 20 minutes I was like, God. And now, it's fine. Is the eyeball where the sanity hole is? Yeah, I think the sanity hole is the left eye socket. And
That's why it hurts.
That's why it hurts. My sanity hole is, it's a sanity pulse. Where was I? 110 bits from Trademark 13. Thank you. Also get 100 from Plusonic and Back in Red. 500 from Kazeumi says, are we watching the Super Mario 3D World on stream or are you watching it later? I'm watching it later. Apparently the trailer's only 2 minutes long, so people might have just watched it while they were waiting on it to load. We'll watch it after. I mean, it's a game that we already played. It's just there's bonus stuff now. There's an extra mode. 300 bits from Tipsy Taj who says, oof, my Xbox died last week, but that means I can upgrade. I want to get a gaming PC, but I'm not sure where to start. I've heard that pre-built PCs shouldn't be trusted, but also I don't want to screw up in building one. Any advice and recommendations are appreciated. Oh, and good morning. So, my advice is to build one. My advice is to build one. That being said, my advice in normal times is to build one. Getting access to certain parts may be difficult now because there's like shortages and stuff. So shrug, I guess. If you can,
If you're concerned about building,
don't be.
Don't be.
That's my takeaway.
I've never done it, but I've watched Steven do it, and I feel like if I knew what parts to get, I could do it. So if you watch videos, you should be fine, I think.
Yeah, I honestly, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Anyone can build a computer. I promise anyone can build a computer. So don't ever let that be a determining factor. It seems more difficult than it is. Mm-hmm. The amount of parts that are required that, go into the computer are minimal. There's really not that many pieces to it. A lot of these pieces, they only fit one way. And, there's so many good guides online.
Yeah.
Guides for how to build it. Guides for, what to buy. I would sincerely urge folks to build their own computers. In most cases, you'll save money. You'll get more of what you want and can tailor everything more to your specific needs. And there are so many resources out there to do it. So you can do it. And that goes to everyone, not just Tipsy Taj. Yeah, you can absolutely, you can do it. Advilman says, it seems research takes more time than building. Yes, building a computer, once you have all the pieces, as long as you don't have a case the size of a GameCube, no more than 90 minutes. It takes 90 minutes to put everything in the case and then turn it on, and that's it. And like Mech says, just never keep a bloated pre-installed Windows installation. I mean, yeah, if you do end up buying a pre-built, if you have access to wipe it and start over from a very fresh installation, you'll be happier. But I still urge people to build their own computers. You can do it. I promise. 7 months from Raging Gymnast says, morning, starting my new job this week, but still love the breakfast streams. Would you ever return to an LP structure where you know the game quite well, similar to Shadow of the Colossus? I mean, yes, that's not off the table, but also as time goes on, there's less games that I know well because I already played them. The most recent one we did was Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
And we streamed that, but that was the same thing where at least I knew what was going on. But it's a lot easier to do, first runs of games because
there's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot of games. The amount of games that I know from childhood is ever.
There's a finite amount.
Yeah, there's a finite amount. It's always it's ever decreasing. But there's still more. Yeah. And there's also stuff that
I know that you don't.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, I mean that too. There's some games where I want to experience them, and I just never got a chance to. Outlaws is a great example of that, where I played it as a kid and got roughly about halfway through the game, and returned to it and was I'm gonna frickin' beat this game finally. Turns out that game's hard as nails because it's old. But there might be some other stuff like that too, where I play a game that I started as a kid and didn't finish, and then get a chance to actually beat it. Yeah, like Final Fantasy X. That's a great example, Thunder Striker. Final Fantasy X is a game I'd love to play with Mouse someday. I've never beaten it. I got to the final boss, and I had screwed myself with my save files so that I could not beat the game. So, there's also a lot in that game I never experienced, because when given the option to explore the world, I went straight to the end.
Yeah.
It's like, would you like to explore the world and see the game? And I'm like, no, go straight to end boss. Would you like to save your game? Yes. Okay, but you only have one save file and you're overwriting it. I'm like, that's fine. Wait, I can't beat the final boss because I'm not leveled up. I literally soft locked the game.
I deleted my save file for Dark Cloud 2 at the final boss. It was an accident.
Narrator, it wasn't fine.
It was not fine.
Yeah. The cool thing about RPGs, though, is that, like, I mean, for the most part, for most typical RPGs, like, you can just, if you can't beat something, you can just leave and go do something else, and then come back, and you'll be stronger, and then you can beat it. It'd be fun to play through Dark Cloud 2 with you at some point, too.
Oh, I would love that.
It's
parts of it are super chill because it's dungeon floors.
That's very much a stream game.
Yeah, it is.
That's because so much of it would have to be cut.
Yeah.
Like a ton of it would have to be cut.
You have to gather some resources and stuff, and
I
build.
owned it.
I know.
That's one of the weird that, like, there's not a ton of games that Mal and I had like overlap, but Dark Cloud 2 is one of them. So Mal and I each owned that. I never beat it.
I did. Well,
but I got pretty far into it.
There's stuff after that's not story. It's just like, hey, you want to do this?
I remember
and
Dark
I got
Cloud,
to that, but I didn't finish that.
I remember Dark Cloud 2 being a little difficult because there's some parts where you have to set things up in a certain way because there's a town building element. And you have to put things in certain places in order to, like, get things to work correctly later.
There's things you can't miss that are missable.
That. And if you don't know what you're doing, you screw it up.
Which is why I bought the guide. And before I bought the guide, because I didn't know I would need it, and then I was like, wow, there's a lot to this. I would go to the library, go on GameFAQs, and then I would, like, look at GameFAQs for games, copy over important information, and condense the text to smaller or change the margins because you had to pay per sheet to print at the library.
Yeah.
And I would, like, make 2 columns and then cut the papers in half and then basically make a little book out of it and stuff. So I would have the information I needed for Dark Cloud 2 and Mother 3 to play in Japanese and Okage because there's some really crazy dungeons there.
There's an entire era of games, and a lot of them are on PlayStation 2, that, like, if you don't have a guide, you can't beat the game. Tulip is very guilty of that.
Tulip's manual is a guide.
Yeah, but if you don't have the manual, if you have only the game,
yeah,
you're just like, well, screwed.
Mother 1+2 Monkey Caves. Oh, that has to be rough.
Yeah. I played when I got Mother 1+2 a million years ago. I played through all of Mother 2. And that was when I got to the Monkey Caves, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna need help." Because I played the entire thing. Didn't matter because I knew Earthbound so well that, like, the game being in Japanese didn't matter. As soon as you get to the Monkey Caves, you're like, "And now I need help." That was rough. You're, like, reading the text and you're looking for characters that are similar, and I'm like, it's like a bunch of garbled letters, and I'm like, And then I'm looking at my inventory like, do I have this thing? My advice is to play games in your native language. But, you know, you can, it's fine. Once you've played it in your native language a few times, you can try it in a different language.
Monkey Caves, though.
Monkey caves are hard.
Yeah.
They're hard even in English because you have to know what to bring.
I know. I have
Yeah.
to look it up beforehand every time and look at where they all stand because I forget every time.
You have to bring like a picnic lunch.
Uh-huh.
And
A skip sandwich?
that sounds right.
And then you have to, like, be fast enough with the egg.
But you can always get another egg.
I know.
The monkey will keep giving you eggs.
I know that, but...
Anyway, it's long.
People who haven't played Earthbound are gone.
Yeah, people are like, what are you talking about? Anyway, everyone should play Earthbound. It's a classic. 8 months from Sinkira Wolf, who says, hey, Stephen and Al, just wanted to say how much I love you guys and also wanted to get some good vibes for my 27th birthday today. Good
Happy
vibes.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Several folks celebrating birthdays today. I hope everybody's birthday is great. And if your birthday's coming up, I hope that it's going to be good. Speaking of 27 months from Chaz, who says, resub test. Wait, this is my real resub message. Thanks, Pickletron, for my sub gift. Well, thanks, Pickletron. Congrats on 27 months, Chaz. 8 months from Heidi2433 says, 8 months, can't believe how fast the time has gone, and yet it feels like it's taken a long time all at the same time. It was a strange year.
Yeah.
It was a strange year. I'm looking forward to slowly coming out of a weird fog this year. It'll take a few months, but eventually that fog will lift, and I feel like time will flow normal again.
It's cool that we know people getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
My grandma's gonna get vaccinated soon.
And she was telling me out, she's like, I'm so excited. Everyone is so bored here. And I was like...
I told the story to Discord. I talked to my grandma on Sunday, I think it was. And I was just checking in on her, see how her iPad was doing, and she's like, I opened YouTube for the first time. And if chat remembers, because I told the story about how I had logged her into it when I had it and subscribed to my channel, so it would be easier for her to find whenever she finally got around to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, she opened it for the first time, and she's like, and there you were, talking about paintbrushes. And she's like, and then there was a video, you made a pie, and you did so good.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
And she's like, I couldn't find Steven's stuff. And I was like, I'll help you with that next weekend. But yeah, she said she got her paperwork and she filled it all out. And she said she's thinking by the end of the month. And like all the residents in her community are like supposed to stay in their apartments. And they're not supposed to have, like they've spread mealtime out so there can be less people in the dining room. And
yeah, I mean, it's and that sort of thing is, it's hard on everyone, but
yeah.
I think it's probably extra hard on the elderly.
Yeah.
Not only because they're at risk and they know it,
And she lives alone and...
but it's just lonely, you know, especially whenever you live alone, so...
And I mean, the iPad was great because she's been able to, like, play around with it and see what's out there with technology, because she's never owned a smartphone or anything like that.
Yeah.
She did a little bit of email, probably about 10 years ago, but that was kind of all she did.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for her to, you know, get into, you know, YouTube and have stuff that she can watch, especially for you. I don't know how she'll feel about vlogs and stuff.
I thought I'd show her, like, maybe Christmas from this year.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
appetizer.
Or maybe, like, something with, like, my dad and Rhonda or Carly, like, from a trip with them or something.
Also just teaching her that, you know, she can, like, search for certain things. Or if you just find certain things that she should see and sending them to her. I think she'd appreciate that. 300 bits from Gold Mage says, so there's a book I just found called Peggy the Parrot, Cybersecurity and Safety Online. In other news, my friend and I are going to start playing Assassin's Creed 2 or Origins together. Anything we should know? Assassin's Creed 2 or Origins? Assassin's Creed 2... Well, Assassin's Creed 2 is a single-player game, so I'm guessing that you're just, like, playing together and, like, taking turns or something. Origins... That's a much later one, right? I haven't kept up with Assassin's Creed very much. Other than I played Valhalla briefly. Like a few weeks or months ago. But anything you should know? I mean, not really. It's all, you know. Yeah, the Egyptian one. That's it. Yeah, those are very those are very different games. Assassin's Creed 2 is good. The only thing I would know going into that, because I haven't played Origins, is that if you like Assassin's Creed 2, you can then play Brotherhood and Revelations, because it's a trilogy. So Assassin's Creed 2 is a whole trilogy about one character, Ezio. And they're good. In my opinion, it has a lot of like character building, and it's fun. So that's the only thing I would keep in mind. But you're not required. The way I remember it is that all three of those games are pretty good. 2 is particularly good, but 2 is really good compared to 1. Like 1 is super rough around the edges.
Yeah.
To the point where Roland actually didn't want me to do the first game. I came into this was years ago. I came into the store to pick up Assassin's Creed 1, and he was like, just play 2. He's like, just skip 1 and play 2. I was like, no, I want to start at the beginning. He's like, it's rough. And he's right, but if you start at the first one, then 2 is even better, because you're like, oh my god, they really...
That's what I did too.
Because you played the first one.
I played 1 and 2.
The first one is just like, it's essentially just 20 missions. It's like 20 assassination missions, and that's it. Brandon says, it was a fine game with no other context. Yeah. And I actually played Assassin's Creed a little bit when it very, very first came out, because Austin had it. And he really, really liked it. But it's incredible how much better 2 is. It's hard to go from 2 to 1. We got 23 months from Spin the Trap. It says, Eli, update time. 1 year old. 8 teeth. Can walk several steps on his own. Favorite food? Beans, which he carefully eats one at a time. Favorite word? Light, which he yells at lights, cars, airplanes, the moon, Christmas trees, etc. He is a good boy.
I can't believe he's a year.
I like that the favorite food is beans, carefully eating them one at a time. I had a personal friend of mine had posted a video on Facebook of his daughter, and it was his daughter crying at the dinner table, and he was filming himself and his daughter, and he goes, "Why are you crying?" And the girl was like screaming. She's like, "I want beans!" And he goes, "But we're not." He's like, "We're not having beans. We already have, dinner ready." And she goes, "But I want beans." And he's like, "Why do you want beans?" She's like, "I like beans." And it was one of those sorts of videos that it feels like it'd be like a viral thing that you pass, but it wasn't. It was just his personal video he'd posted on Facebook. It was very funny. But also I can relate heavily to that girl, because I was like, there's a lot of times where I also just want beans. It looks like chat wants beans. All right, chat, you can have beans.
You have black bean soup today.
My mom made some black bean soup and brought it over yesterday. I was not a huge fan of black bean soup, which is a shame.
More for you.
Because it's delicious. It is so good. There is so much stinking flavor in that soup.
It's good, but I would prefer other stuff.
That's fine.
It's just not my favorite.
That's fine. More for me. My mom knows that too.
Yeah, she does.
She's like, whatever. Not everybody's going to like everything. And that's okay. We got 2 months from Styrofoams. It says, "Hi, grandparents. Glad to be here." Glad you're here, Styrofoams. Hope you're doing well. 300 bits from Platinum Pikachu says, "The whole Danny 86 thing gave me a mathematical idea. Imagine a base 8 version of Roman numerals. I would be 1, V would be 4, X is now 8, L is 32, C is 64, and so on." Things that I don't invent. Mathematical ideas. Those don't... Like, I understand what you were saying, but that's not something I would have ever come up with. It's
real complicated for Steven.
I don't sit around thinking about new mathematical ideas, basically. It's above me. Danny says, "Too much math for Danny 86. 26 months from Countermaster. Appreciate it. We got 12 months from Item Crafting Live. A whole year, dang. Thank you for all the fun and sanity. You're welcome. Happy to help. 500 bits from Aunt Dawn. Hi, Stephen and Mal. Tomorrow's my 31st birthday. Feel free to wish me a happy one.
Happy early birthday.
Lots of folks celebrating birthdays. Hey, I'm 31. So I can tell you what it'll be like. It's actually not a... I don't have any good examples because the past year I've just been like, well,
I'm at home.
I'm at home. Nothing changes and I'm at home. So my suspicion is that your 31st birthday will feel a little different than that because, you know, things are gradually changing, gradually getting better. And I'll be 32 here in a little bit. I got what, 2 months?
Yes.
Time marches forward. Chess says when you're 31, you'll grow out your hair and play a lot of Wii games one particular day. That's what happens when you're 31. That's true. Everyone experiences that at 31. It's true. 3 bits from Shio says, you know how you get into a rhythm and your head starts playing something subconsciously? After last Friday's festivities, my brain keeps going to the hoedown alert. What was it that I played in bed last night and you were very upset?
Oh, I was so mad. Here I am reading, and Steven starts playing like one of my least favorite songs because it gets stuck in my head way too easy.
Mao had been reading. I felt bad, but it was fine. Mao had been reading, and I had looked at something, and it was a video, and I unmuted the video because I was curious what it was. And it was Superheroes by Daft Punk. And if you've never heard that song, it's basically just something's in the air, and that's it.
That's the only line.
Something's in the air, something's in the air, something's... Anyway. I unmuted it long enough for it to go, something's in the air, something's in the air. And like as soon as it had come out twice, Mal goes, I'm trying to read. And I go, I'm sorry. I remuted it. We sit in silence for 30 seconds. And then Mal bursts out, now it's in my head. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause a problem. Then I turned the light out and I'm like, anyway, I'm going to bed. Anyway, it's a great song.
Pumpkins in the air.
We listened to it on a road trip once, and we just kept trying to figure out what else it could sound like. Because after you hear the same few words over and over, like your brain starts to not know what it's saying. I recommend the song. 300 bits from Suspiciously Moist Carpet.
Did someone?
Is that what that says?
Mm-hmm.
Did someone summon a really strange name? I mean, that's a really strange name. I don't like the words suspiciously moist carpet altogether. Huh. This carpet is suspiciously moist. Kazuyama gives us up to Motion Dan. Hey! Thank you, Kazu. 5 months from Deranged Anime. 300 from Wizard Grad Student says, remember how I said I had class? Well, the lecturer didn't show up for the lecture today, so the main professor was just like, we're done after 10 minutes. I'm not complaining. That's nice. Cool. That happened very, very infrequently in college for me. To get to class and find out that there was no class.
Yeah.
It did happen.
It did happen.
But it was very rare. And when it did, it was just this weird feeling of like, what do? I guess I go home.
Depending on what day, you may not have any classes after that. At all.
Yeah. The only thing that sucked is like, when that happens, I would just think, why didn't I know before I left the dorm, you know? Especially if I walked, and I had like a 25-minute one-way walk. I walk for 25 minutes, and then I get there, and they're like, there's no class. And I'm like...
All of mine were 25-minute walks.
Oh. Well. Sorry.
Sometimes in the winter.
Oh God, Brandon says, try having a 90-minute round commute to campus. Yeah, I would be mad. I would be mad. I would sit in the class and be like, somebody teach me. I'm here to learn.
Pickletron says, and Mouse were in the snow. Yep. I remember junior year, it was when I lived with Haley when we were both at the same college and roommates. We had a final at the same time in the same building. And we're like, oh, we'll just go walk together and then afterwards we'll meet up and have lunch. Mm-hmm. And it was like the coldest day and they couldn't cancel classes because it was like finals and they were like, just get through today. It was like the last day of finals before winter break. And we both had to walk 30 minutes, 40 minutes to class, and we had like scarves, like there was only like just so you could see out, and like it was so cold you had frost on the outside of your scarf.
Yeah.
Because when you inhale and exhale it gets moisture, so it would freeze. And we just like shivered and got to class.
One of the weirdest times I ever remember going to one of the school buildings was when the roof caved in.
Oh yeah, when it was raining so hard.
It rained so hard the roof caved in the film building. And that was wild. I never went to the film building outside of class time, but I had to go this one specific time because we had done a project and it was shot on
Film.
tape. It was tape.
Oh.
It wasn't film at the time. It was tape. And the tape decks were at the building. So I had to drive down there. I had to use one of the tape decks and then capture it digitally. So I went down there.
So you could then edit it.
So I could edit it at home.
Yeah.
Because I did all the editing at home, but I didn't have a tape deck. So I had gotten in there and I had put the tape deck. I was starting to capture it and everything. And all of a sudden, we heard the like water start coming down. It was just like so much rain. And then shortly after that, the lights went out, and there was this terrible sound. And then we found out that part of the roof had caved in, because it was, I think the roof was flat. I think the roof was completely flat, and that might have been why that happened. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, part of the roof like caved in and water was like flooding inside of the building onto the computer equipment. So that was exciting. And you know, they got like flashlights or whatever and they're like, listen, everyone's just have to go. And I was like, my
tape.
Yeah, the project I shot on the tape is in the tape deck. And I was like, this is my project. And they're like, we'll get them out. We'll have everything here. So then I had to, you know, drive home. And like the parking lot was flooded. There was the amount of rain that came down was actually crazy. And whenever I got in the car and then I started to head back, all of the traffic lights were out in Savannah. And it was super, super creepy because like, you know, there's a crap load of intersections in Savannah because it's a grid system.
And if you haven't seen it, like on old vlogs or just anything, it's all live oaks, so they're those massive trees with the Spanish moss hanging down, and it's hard to see. Savannah's a dark city because the trees are just so...
Yeah, so it was one of those things like I had, you know, a 15-minute drive back to the dorm, and there was no traffic lights. So everyone's like cautiously approaching to the intersections and then just like trying to figure out who should go. And the entire time this is happening, it's raining so ridiculously hard. God. That sucked. That's on the vlog. I don't know how much I shot in the building or on the drive back. But like... that day the vlog had already started. I don't know what it's called. But it's on there. Anyway, LB308 gifted a sub to Purple Pollo. Thank you, LB. You got 200 bits from Deranged Anime, who also then gifted a sub to Don 2300. Appreciate it. 300 from Tipsy Taj, who says, the thing deleted my last message because it was too long, but my Xbox died last week and I'm going to upgrade to a PC, and good morning. Oh, we got it. We got it. Thank you, Taj. And, sincerely, again, build it. You can do it. You can do it. Acquiring some parts might be difficult. I think GPUs are still hard to get. My heart goes out to everyone that has been patiently waiting on the, whatever they're called, the 30... Is it the 30... There's 3 of them. 3080, 3090, 30 something? The 3000 series? I know there's some people here that, like, want those and have just been patiently waiting for, like, Newegg to tweet and be like, "Yeah, here they are." Did I get them right? Yeah, okay, 3070, 3080, 3090. Yeah. Good luck! Good luck! I know that there's lots of people that, that want those. At some point, we'll be looking at, upgrading some computer stuff, but we haven't needed to quite yet. And also, it's kind of impossible. So, Brandon says, a Newegg is often like, also you have to buy this component you don't want, sorry. Or are they doing that? That reminds me of, GameStop does the same thing with consoles. Like, they'll have, like, PS5s and Xboxes, but they'll also have bundles where it's like, you have to buy these games or these third-party controllers made of literal, crap in order to do that. So it's like, if you want a PS5, it ends up costing you $800. And all of the $300 worth of stuff is not worth $300. It's like buying a Nintendo Wii on QVC. It's a weird example, but it's a very specific example. Anyway. They used to take returns on the component you don't want if you paid return shipping, then they stopped. That sucks. Anyway, 23 months from Dalek City. Oh, almost to 2 years. We get 300 bits from Andrew in the kitchen. Says, you called for Eminem? There he is. Thank you, Andrew. 4 months from Do I Make You Randy? Thank you, Mr. Powers. 300 bits from Shy says, you haven't been to an Arby's much in your life, and yet one of your iconic phrases is, Sir, this is an Arby's. I do reference Arby's, the chain, a lot in Let's Plays.
You do. Do you secretly want it?
No, I think it's just because I don't know it very well.
They have sandwiches.
Yeah, they also sell, like, milkshakes, I think?
I have no idea.
30 bits from Adrian says, for some reason, the Grubhub menu for my local McDonald's says their blueberry muffins priced at $0.00, secret muffin acquired. That's weird. Be like, hello, I would like a number 5.
And a secret muffin.
And 100 muffins. 100. Yeah, Arby's has the meats. That's the slogan. Arby's, we have the meats. And a milkshake. And sometimes fish. 5 months from Maya the Siren. Yay, 5 months. Good morning, grandparents. Afternoon for me. Thank you for all the breakfast streams. They've been getting me through many stressful days at work. Here's to 4 more months until my first Twitch kitty. You can get whatever you want at 9 months. LB gifted a sub to Lynn Dies. Thank you, LB. 550 bits from White 15 Wolf. Says, so my wife just explained great fairies to her blind friend, and he goes, so they're Dolly Parton in goddess form. And my wife replies with, I'm pretty sure she already is a goddess in human form. Both are correct. Mm-hmm. Both of these statements are correct. Also, now I'm imagining all of the great fairies as Dolly Parton. Like, you go up to the fountain, and you're like, hello? And then, Jolene! 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 If you want to hear me sing Jolene, it'll be 10,000 rupees.
I'm only working 9 to 5.
Oh, that's funny. That's good. That's really good. Joshua! Joshua! If I sat here long enough, I could slowly get through the entire Dolly Parton discography.
Enhancing 9 pairs of pants.
Enhancing 9 pairs of pants. What a way to make a living. It is hard. It is really. I know I've said it before. It's hard to think of music
when there's music.
when there's
playing.
other music playing. But I will always think of Jolene. I can't think of Dolly Parton and not think of Jolene. I think that's probably the song, right? Maybe 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Guess it depends. 21 months from Ilizu. Appreciate it. 12 months from White Wolfo 64. That's a year. 300 bits from Kazuyumi says, also the gift sub to Dan was 6 months. Oh, snap! Well, thank you, Kaze. Dan will appreciate that. Dan stops by every once in a while.
For breakfast stream.
Sometimes he's here at breakfast stream.
Yeah.
But usually he'll at least stop by briefly for Friday streams. And then sometimes he's streaming and we get a chance to raid him. That doesn't happen super often, but every once in a while. 300 bits from Shia says, you want to talk about canceled classes? I signed up for a summer school class, and on the first day I showed up, written on the board, CAE 430 has been canceled on account of not enough students taking the class. No email or any advance notice, just that message on the board. I would be pissed. I would be so mad.
Mm-hmm.
It takes so little effort to email the students that signed up for a class. That's awful. Especially because what happens then is that you are then scrambling to get a different class to fill credits, and it's already been so long that then you get into something that you probably don't really want to do, because I've been there too. Of course, I wasn't there because a class was canceled. I was there because I signed up for something, went to the class, and was like, oh, this is going to be way too hard, and then I changed it to something else. 2 months from Xanderman TKD. Appreciate it. Satsy gifted a sub to Arby's We Have the Meat. It's a good name.
That sounds like a letter you would send to Arby's and be like, we have it, Arby's. We are asking for curly fries in return.
Are you talking about sending a ransom letter to Arby's?
That's what that sounds like.
Dearest Arby's, we have the meats now. If you'd like the meats returned to you, we will need all of your curly fries. The curliest fries, no straight fries whatsoever, Arby's. And a free muffin. Pickletron gifted us up Dolly Parton. Can't wait till she shows up. Dolly Parton's always welcome here. If she wants to she can be on the stream. She just needs to show up.
If she shows up to Pirate's Voyage to do a thing, she can just stop over here.
Yeah, she's welcome on stream anytime. 300 bits my now spell comment says, welcome to Egyptian algebra. I already struggle with normal algebra. You can't ask me to do algebra from another location. Algebra is where they started to introduce letters, and
yes.
It's fine. You don't need it. And your normal day-to-day job probably doesn't require. It might. I mean, it might. But you'll know. You'll know. For everyone else in school, I mean, do your best, but also do so with the understanding of, like, you probably actually ain't gonna need this. You gotta, like, graduate and stuff. That's fine. But, don't stress algebra too much. The amount of times I've used algebra in my day-to-day has been none. Not ever. Not one time.
I use it.
For what?
Figuring out things with art.
I don't even know what algebra does. Like, I don't know what it figures out. So
well, when you have equations, you need to figure out what the number is. And
there has never been one time since I got out of school that my brain was like, I need to create an equation.
Ratios and...
I guess that's why you think you don't use it. Yeah, geometry makes more sense.
When you solve equations with geometry...
That's algebra?
Yeah, you're using that.
What's the difference between geometry and algebra?
I mean, geometry involves the measurements. Like, if you're trying to figure out...
Wait a minute, hold on. Brandon says, thinking what number plus 40 is 100 is algebra. No, no.
Yes, it is.
No,
40
that's
plus
just...
x equals 100. So you minus 40 from this side, move it to the side, do 100 minus 40 equals this, so x equals 60. You're doing it without thinking. And you're using subtraction to
I did
solve.
algebra yesterday. I use algebra.
Coffee.
I use algebra in both Photoshop and
Yes.
Final Cut.
Yes.
But I don't think about it as algebra.
I know.
If you were to present me the same thing that I'm doing, but as an equation, I would tear it up and scream. Math is just upsetting. It's hard and I don't get it, but there's certain things I have to know how to do, and I know how to do those things, and I'm good. Like the other day, so like one of the things I have to do with, I guess, technically counts as algebra. I just made a thumbnail for a memorable moment for Mario 64. This is my very specific example of algebra. I guess this is algebra. Is that I knew that I wanted to have 3 things.
Yes.
So then what I needed to do, I guess that's not algebra, is it? Because that's just like, I knew that there were 3 panels, and I knew that the width was 1280. So I was like, I just need to divide 1280 by 3. Is that algebra? Or is that just division?
I don't know if that technically counts.
I don't know. Sometimes I have to figure out some really complicated stuff for Final Cut.
Mm-hmm. Because everything's centered on the center point.
Yeah.
So it's plus and minus and plus and minus.
Yeah, in a 1920 pixel width frame, because everything is based on the center point, the coordinates are 0, 0. You have to do things work differently.
Yes.
So like if you want something to be in the corner, that's not 1920. That's half of 1920, which is some number.
Coffee.
Some 100 bits from Captain Joe 08. Thank you. 3 from Shy says, did you know that x equals the opposite of c plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a? Hey?
X equals minus c plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
Is that a famous equation or something, or?
Yes.
Oh, I remember triangle. Triangle was like...
A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
That's it. I also didn't remember it. If you would have not said anything, I would have just sat here and went, sides. Nope. It's really convenient when it just says scam likely. Like,
Nah.
that's likely a scam. Satsy gifted a sub to Algebra. Welcome, Algebra. You can sit next to Dolly Parton. 300 bits from Anowdispel.com says, honestly, statistics is probably the only math worth knowing for everyone. Is that kind of what I took in high school?
No.
What I took didn't have a name. They just took all of the people that were,
Were you trying to figure out probability and odds?
Sure.
You don't sound very confident.
Well, it was just a lot of stuff. It was okay. So I'll touch on this briefly because we're pushing 11. When I was in high school, everyone was on a certain path for math, and then at what was it, 10th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. At 10th grade, we were all in the same math class, but it was really clear that some of us were a little less gifted when it came to math. So they divided the class up, and they put some people into high level things, and they put the rest of us into they called it business math. So like there's probably some stuff. All I know is that I had been gradually doing worse and worse in math. And then they put me into business math, and I friggin' aced that son of a gun. Made me feel brilliant. I'm like, I'm good at this. I'm good at this sort of math.
They did that to us going into 6th grade, but they didn't tell us. We just got given a schedule in middle school, and we just went to it. And at some point, we all learned it was because they put us in different groupings of, like, who was doing better in math. Oh, you got put into applications. Who wasn't? Oh, you were taking math.
We didn't know that there was going to be 2 maths either. So everyone got their class schedules, and I had a small high school class, so everyone had the same
Schedule.
Everyone's schedule was identical. And then everyone was like, wait a minute. Your math is different than mine. And then we started to slowly put together. And then it became really obvious, like, who had the different math class. We were like, oh. And then before long, we had like 7 or 8 of us. And it was clear that we were in a very different math class. And it's like, I wonder if it's because I got a D in Algebra 2. And the answer was yes. Yes. So, it was fine. It was fun. It was fun. And also, it was better. Because I've never needed any higher level math in my normal day-to-day life. It would have been of no use to me. And I got better at the math that I already knew. And I think that was a probably better fit for me in the first place.
And it is. Like, if you are someone who is struggling with that, and you're not going to go and be like, I'm going to go into...
The other thing is when you're struggling with something, and, like, you just don't get it. Like, it just does not click.
Yeah.
You start to...
And you decide you don't want to do that in your life, so... You
start to reject it. Like, it becomes something that you're then angry about. Because whenever when I could not grasp the math concepts as we started to get, it started to ramp up, and I was lagging behind. I was taking, outside of school, I was taking, what is it called? Tutoring. I was getting tutored in math because I could not get it. So then the other thing is that you start to just get upset at the whole thing. And, it was a pointless thing to try and, like, do. Everyone's got, there's certain, like, basic level things that everyone should have, and that's fair. But, one of those things is not calculus. Most people don't need calculus. If you're going into a job that requires calculus, then you'll get it. But for most other people...
And if it's something you get, you are probably going to pick a job that involves something of that nature.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in chat giving examples of, like, specific things. And, like, having base level math is, like, you're if you don't have certain core things, then yeah, the world gets harder. But when you get to the higher level stuff, most people don't need that. You don't have to have, like, super high level writing. You don't have to have super high level math. If you're better at something else, then focus on the thing that you're really good at. That's what I say. Alright, let's finish these alerts. 300 bits of Pickletron says, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I don't know what any of these are. I just remembered the triangle. 300 bits from Shio says, algebra is basically, you don't know this one thing, but you know everything else. So what does that one thing need to be to make the rest of it work? I can remember the teacher's face trying to explain things. She tried. She really tried. 300 bits from my now spoke comment says, a dozen, a gross, and a score, plus 3 times the square root of 4, divided by 7, plus 5 times 11 is 9 squared and not a bit more.
Coffee!
These are making math people very happy. They're making me very confused. 300 bits from Satsy says, I've got some potent menthol crystals to try to help feel better, and when I say potent, I mean the back of my sinuses are currently toasty. The back of my eyes burn. I mean... that means it's working? I guess? If it, the more it burns, the more it's working. Does not apply to all things. Does not apply
a few weeks
to all things.
I was putting lotion on my face, and I accidentally got way too close to my eye, and it hurt.
Oh man, I took a shower the other day, and I was washing my face, and I don't know if my brain wasn't turned on. I had my eyes open, and I basically rubbed soap into my eyeball, and I about came unglued. Like it was so incredibly painful, and I was just sitting there like trying to let the water into my eye. And even after I had washed it out, it just burned and burned and burned, and it burned to have my eye closed instead of open. So I was just trying to like hold. It was awful. It was just. Now I know how Jules was worse. Jules was worse. Spraying yourself in the eye with hairspray. I've never done that. I can't imagine a scenario where that'll happen because I don't use hairspray, but like that seems terrible. And I felt bad that I was laughing at Jules. But in my defense, it was very funny. I wanted to check to make sure he was okay. I had to resume breathing first because I was laughing so hard. 30 Bits from Shio says, I was in the honors math track AP my senior year. People would go, so you're good at math, right? And I would go, no, I'm okay. You want the people good at math, talk to the guys taking college math since freshman year. There are more tiers than most realize.
Yep.
Above me. And again, I'm fine with that.
You'll have I had a few students when I was teaching who were taking college courses at like Coastal. And then they would show up for my class and they'd be like, sorry, we ran late today. There was traffic trying to get here from Coastal. And like, you knew.
Did I tell you that I took math at a college during high school?
Yeah, you've told me.
I forget that I did that. I quit. That's why I stopped doing it. I forgot that I did that. That's right. It was 11th. This will be quick. I promise.
Chaz is like...
I know Chaz is like... But I started 20 minutes late. There's that. That's the Chaz logo. It was 11th grade. It was junior year that I took business math, where we split up and like all of the smart kids did the smart math, and me and Justin and some of the other people. Me and Justin and Jarrett, man, we were. And then some of the other people. We did the lower level math. They actually had people below us too, like the younger. We were in 11th grade. They also had like 10th graders in there too. Yeah. I think because they, there
were smaller classes.
Yeah, and they also knew there were some people in 10th grade. They were, they were not good at it either. So they put us all together. In 12th grade. So after we did that in 12th grade, it was like, what are we doing now? Because we already did math. Math's done. They had us signed up for college class. So there was like nothing more that we could learn at the high school. So they had us going 2 or 3 times a week across town to the community college to take college level credits there. And they thought that would be helpful because it was like a college credit. And I mean, they're not wrong, but like it was the same thing where people were divided up into 2 groups, where the people that had done the smart math before then went to do even smarter math at the community college. And, me and the other group of people, we went to do essentially the same thing that we had just done in junior year, but again, take business math from a community college. I had done, I started it, and it was a huge hassle. It was a huge hassle, first off, because you had to drive across town, and it was this big thing. And, I was doing this, and I kept thinking, I don't want to do this. I was like, I hate math. I hate it. It's awful. I don't want to do anything related to it. I don't have to do this right now, because I didn't. There was no part of me that had to deal with that. And I was busy with other stuff, because in senior year, I was like... I'm not going to say I was single-handedly keeping the yearbook running, but I was...
Single-handedly keeping the yearbook running.
I was extremely influential in the production of the yearbook, and I was like, I'd rather work on this. So I went to the guidance counselor administration or whatever, and I was like, I don't have to do this. And they're like, well, yeah, I guess you don't have to. I was like, well, then I'm not going to. I'm done. So I cleared that out. I changed my schedule up where like I didn't have a full day of classes. Mm-hmm. It was great. I enjoyed that a lot more. It was wonderful.
Hi, kitty.
And then I ended up doing math. I did take a math in college, but it was easier than the one I took in high school. Anyway, there ain't some shy who says, remember my story last week about the woman who maced her kids? I've got another one. Many years ago, my mother actually maced herself once by spraying the wrong way into the wind.
My mom did that. She had pepper spray for when she'd go running. She would carry it with her.
Was there an assailant?
There was one time, Carly and I were at my dad's house, and she said that she thought she heard a noise. So she grabbed her pepper spray from her dresser, and then wasn't sure if it was working because she had never needed to use it, and sprayed it into the bathroom sink.
Oh.
And it...
Yeah, it's a spray. Yeah, that's not, that's... Yeah, you gotta be careful. It's a mist.
Yeah. There was no one in the house.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
She probably moved away very quickly. Not moved.
Like, got away from the bathroom.
Took a step back.
Yeah.
All right, we are done. Went a little bit long, but also started a little bit late. Thank y'all for being here. Sorry that we were late. We'll pay more attention to that button, since apparently sometimes the button can just be like, I don't know. I wish there'd be a pop-up, but of course there's not. Quickly for today, before I let you go, Pikmin Side Stories starts at noon today, which is really exciting. There's more Pikmin. This is follows the adventures of Olimar and Louie, which is kind of exciting. A little Pikmin 2 seeping back into our lives. We can't seem to escape it. And then another exciting thing is that at 6 p.m. Eastern today, the Extra Life VODs begin. We're going to be releasing them on the same day as Pikmin. So you get Pikmin at noon, and then 6 hours later, you'll get a Extra Life VOD. So the first one up is Barbie as the Island Princess.
Yep.
Fun. Otherwise, no First 20 stream this week. We have a different plan. We'll be doing First 20 stream next week, almost certainly, unless something goes strangely awry. And I think that's it.
Yep.
I think that's it. Third from Courtney, who says, cries in chemical engineering math.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Good luck. Have a wonderful Tuesday, everyone. We will see you on...
Today's Tuesday. Thursday.
Thursday. Assuming the stream actually begins.